Okay, we're just out on Dartmoor doing an Enfield tour. It's almost like I'm paid for by Enfield, but I honestly am not. So all these bikes are speed shop bikes. We're out on the Bullet Trials, Himalayan, Classic 350, Continental 650, Interceptor 650, Meteor and the Scram, so everything in the Royal Enfield range. Just as an overview, let's start with the Scram. Most of the group, got 6 with me today, have ridden the Scram, and I think universally people like it. It's exciting, and they find it feels different to the Himalayan. They're talking about different engine performance, and one feels peppier than the other. This is a brand new bike with no miles on it. You know, I hope everyone's been riding it with sort of softness in mind. So the power is going to feel different to an Enfield to a Himalayan that's already ran in. But the main thing is they feel it's a different bike to ride. That front wheel makes it more alert, more darty. Aesthetically, yesterday somebody came in the unit and went, God, that's a young person's bike and the Himalayan's an old person's bike. I thought that was quite an interesting, quick little snippet of the pitch of the two different bikes, or the two bikes, the Himalayan and the Scram. So yeah, people like that. Meteor, mixed, you know, and they're coming with the same criticism I have. It's a very harsh ride, very firm, jittery, bumpy, shocky over the bad B roads that we ride, and therefore it's kicking all the road imperfections through your spine, which makes, for anyone with a bad back, really uncomfortable, and almost, to be honest, unrideable for me. I really struggle on it. I just can't get comfortable. I think it's because the seat is right above the shock mounts, and because all the weight's back on your bum, you really feel the kick through the rear shocks. So for me, it's a no bike. I can't get on with it. I wouldn't want to do more than 50 miles, simply because I'm not comfortable. Other people are different. Everybody's different. Interceptor, obviously, nice little bike. My preference is the Continental GT 650. Just a better riding position for me, a bit comfier. Different personality as well, with the bars forward and the legs back, the feet back. It gives it a racier stance, and I like that. The Continental is a bit, where has it gone? The Continental is a little bit harsh on the wrists when you're doing slow speed B-road stuff, bumpy stuff. It's not necessarily built for that. And I guess on them conditions, the Interceptor is better. It's because you're sat more neutral. But in every other type of riding, A, B, road riding, I personally prefer the Continental, simply because it's got a more engaging riding position and personality to it. And I'm comfier on it as well. The Classic 350, I've got to be honest, it's such a sweet bike. That it's unbelievable to think it is the same bike as a Meteor, just with a different sort of riding position setup. But everything about it feels so smooth. The gear change feels nice, the riding position feels nice, the handling feels nice, the throttle input feels nice. It's almost a perfect bike. I really love that Classic 350. And it's unbelievable that I love that and hate the Meteor. It's a transformation of the same chassis and engine into two different ways. And for me, the Classic 350 is a lovely bike. It's one of the nicest bikes I've ridden, because you can do miles in effortless comfort. I've got a Land's End John O'Groats trip coming up. If I had to choose one, I think I'd go for that Classic 350. Just a lovely bike. Himalayan, yeah, same, you know, talked about it 1,000 times. And lastly, the Bullet Trials, I think that's got the same suspension as the Meteor, because over this back road stuff, it's very jittery, very bumpy, very bouncy. It shows its age, really, riding them all back to back. You know, it's got character, it's got heritage, pedigree, whatever, but it shows its age against the Classic 350. It just feels rough, vibey. It feels torquey. Yes, it's got a stronger engine for sure, but there's nothing else about it that's better than the Classic 350. And so, yeah, it's a lovely bike. It looks nice. It's got character by the bucket loads, but it's not a refined motorcycle. It's not a modern motorcycle. What's the consensus so far? What's a favourite? Have we got a favourite? Mark, you're going to buy you're going to buy one, aren't you?
Himalayan.
Himalayan?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because I like standing up and I didn't fall off.
411 for me.
411. Why?
Just a long run. Just a nice ride.
Nice ride.
411.
And another one.
Smooth. Much smoother than the Himalayan
So
for some reason. And it handles better. Maybe it's a smaller wheel, I don't know, but it just feels different.
Well, I've not ridden it yet.
Brian, you're on it now. Okay.
They're all fun. Probably the 650 because that's the way I'm leaning towards having. So, yeah, 650.
So we've got so far 1 Interceptor, 3 votes for the
Does anyone like the Meteor?
411,
The classic's really nice.
and the Classic's really nice. Agreed on that.
Classic's
Nice
are
one.
great,
That's
that's right.
maybe what are you on now?
Any we don't like.
Take that one next.
Yeah,
I
fine.
don't think it's that bad.
Why don't you like the Meteor?
It's everything. It's
Everything.
uncomfortable. It's got a C90 gear change, but the wrong way around.
Anything else we don't like? Bullet trials?
That's good actually. Much better than I thought. A little bit vibey, but it's fantastic.
I quite like that, but I didn't like the gear change.
Didn't like the gear change.
They might be my boots.
Cool. All right, crack on.